Hello, welcome back to the 99 Addicted. I'm your host Chiki, and this is the 5th episode of our Deck Tech series. If you're new, the 99 is a series of videos in which I show you the decks I have, showing the synergies and interaction between the cards. Today, I'm going to show you my beat-em up deck. Gahiji, Honored 1 is our commander. It gives +2/+0 to each creature that doesn't attack us. This means that if we make alliances with our opponents, they get the bonus too. However, this deck is everything but friendly. The deck is 100% aggro. The plan is to start attacking as soon as we can. To do this, the first step is to accelerate us. Cultivate and Kodama's Reach search us for basic lands. Farseek search for a Montero or a Plains. Then, Nature's Lore and Wood Elves search us for a forest, while Ranger's Path and Skyshroud Claim search us for 2. Temple Discovery will search us for any land. My personal favorite ones to search with this are the Hideaway lands, but it can search for any land. And not only that, but the lands that you search come into play untapped. Once we have that, Mirati's Wake will double our mana. We play Nature's Will to untap our lands and Druid Repository to get mana from attacking. Grand Warlord Radha gives us mana when we attack, just like Druid's Repository, except that it can only be green or red. Nehev also gives us mana on our second main phase equal to the damage we made this turn so far. What is an aggro deck without creatures to attack? We try to run creatures that give something when we attack, or creatures that give more creatures. For attacking, Aurelia the Warleader gives us an extra combat phase. Aggressive Mammoth gives trample to our creatures, besides it's an 8/8 for 6 mana. Hellrider pokes defending player for each creature attacking. Iroas, God of Victory, prevents the damage to attacking creatures and it gives them menace. Miri, Weatherlight Duelist, make her opponents only able to block with one creature while she is tapped, and protected while she is tapped too, making our opponents only able to attack us with one creature. Siege Behemoth makes technically all our creatures unblockable, by assigning their damage as if they were unblocked. Lightning Runner gives us 2 energy counters, and when we have 8, we can pay them to have an extra combat phase. Stonehoof Chieftain gives trample and indestructible. And finally, Angelic Guardian gives our creatures indestructible when they attack. Then, to create more creatures, Captain on the Watch creates 3 soldiers and gives them +1/+1 and vigilance. Geist-Honored Monk creates 2 spirits and his power and toughness are both equal to the number of creatures we have. Hanweir Garrison, Hero of Bladehold, and Leonin Warleader create 2 creatures tapped and attacking. During the upkeep, Assemble the Legion gets a counter and then creates a token with haste for each counter it has. March of the Multitudes and Security Oasis create X tokens at instant speed, but March of the Multitudes has Convoke, which can get crazy. Elspeth Knight Errant with her first +1 give us a soldier. Deploy to the front give us tokens equal to the number of creatures on the battlefield, and Noma's Assembly does the same, but only with the creatures on our board, and it also has Rebound. Entreaty Angels create angels, and if we get it for the miracle cost, it becomes from great to amazing. And finally, Increasing Devotion creates 5 tokens, and if played for the flashback, it gives us 10 instead. We not only want to strike, but we want to make it hard. Adriana, Captain of the Guard, gives melee to everyone. Melee gives each creature +1/+1 for each opponent we attacked, so at its minimum it gives +1/+1 for attacking. Nobilis of War gives +2/+0 to our attacking creature, similar to Gahiji. Archangel of Strife gives each player the option to choose War or Peace. War gives +3/+0 to their creatures, while Peace gives +0/+3. We of course choose War. Gisela, Blade of the Goldnight, doubles the damage we make, while halves the damage done to us. Ogre Battledriver and In the Web of War give each creature that enters the battlefield or under control +2/+0 and haste. When Pathbreaker Ibex attacks, it gives trample and +X/+X to all our creatures, where X is the highest power among them. Wild Beastmaster does something similar. She gives +X/+X to all other creatures where X is her power. Rubblebelt Raiders get counters for each creature attacking with her, and it counts herself too. Thunderfoot Baloth gives +2/+2 and trample when Gahiji is on play. Xenagos, God of the Rebels, gives +X/+X and haste to a creature where X is its power. Beastmaster Ascension gets a counter every time we attack, and when it has 7 or more counters on it, it gives +5/+5 to all our creatures. Cathars Crusade puts a counter on each creature when a creature enters the battlefield, while Iroas gives a temporary +1/+1 instead. Crusader of War gets a counter on each upkeep, and attacking creatures get +1/+0 for each counter on it. Besides, our blocking creatures get a +1/+0 too. Note that this gives the +1/+0 for attacking to every creature, not just our creatures. Martial's Anthem and Mirari's Wake each gives +1/+1 to our creatures, and Martial Anthem can reanimate creatures in late game. Glory of Warfare gives +2/+0 to our creatures during our turn, and +0/+0 during our opponent's turn. Also, Elspeth's second +1 gives +3/+3 and flying to any creature. The value plays in this deck are mostly based on knowing how to stack the triggered abilities. We'll see that later on, but for now, we have some combos that might not be too impressive but are cool to pull off. First, using Lightning Runner, Aetherwind Basker, and 4 other creatures attacking, we have infinite combat phases. Pair this with something that gives your creatures indestructible and we are done. Also, Radha, Druid Repository, and maybe Nehev plus Aggravated Assault give us infinite combats too. However, as I said, the real value plays come from stacking the triggers. I'm going to explain 3 examples using cards run at random. For the first one, imagine you have Hanweir Garrison, Ogre Battledriver, and Xenagos in play, and you want to cast a Pathbreaker Ibex. When it enters, it gets +2/+0 from the Ogre, making it a 5/3, then you enter combat. Xenagos will target the Ibex, making it a 10/8. Then you attack with everything. Note that Xenagos is a creature now. Resolve first the Hanweir Garrison, creating 2 1/1s. The Ogre triggers, making them 3/1 each. Then trigger the Ibex, giving +10/+10 and trample to each creature. And just like that, you are dealing 87 damage with trample. The second example uses Hero of Bladehold and Rubblebelt Raiders. We attack with both. As you declare attackers, first trigger the hero's ability to create the tokens, then the battle cry. Finally, trigger the Raiders. It counts 4 attacking creatures and get 4 counters. That gives us a total attack of 15. If you stack this different, it will deal only 11 damage. Not too much difference, but still enough. Finally, we have Aurelia, Leonin Warleader, Adriana, and Wild Beastmaster. We attack with everything. First, melee triggers, giving our creatures +1/+1. Note that melee is only triggered when a creature attacks, so it has to be the clear attacker for it to work. Then trigger the cat ability, creating 2 tokens. Now trigger the Beastmaster, giving +2/+2 to each creature. During this first combat, you deal 28 damage. Then you have a second combat. You untap everything. The cat token has no haste, so they will be blockers for the next turn. You might be thinking, okay, so another combat, that's another 28 damage, but no. All triggers resolve again. The +1/+1 for the melee, and the now +3/+3 from the Beastmaster, for a total of 43 damage this second combat. And these examples are using only the first creature that pop up. Imagine all the possibilities. Besides the things that give us mana for attacking and or damaging, as we saw already, we run a Growing Rise of Ithilith Monk, which gives us a creature and then turns into a Gaia's Cradle. For the lands, we run 3 basic forests, 1 mountain and 1 plains, then Battlefield Forge, Clifftop Retreat, and Temple of Triumph for white and red, Fortified Village, Sungrass Prairie, Sunpetal Grove, and Temple of Plenty for green and white, Cane Trail, Rootbound Crag, and Temple of Abandon for red and green, we run the 3 Hideaway Lands, a City of Brass, Command Tower, Nyctos, and Temple of the False God. We also play a Shinka, the Blood-Soaked Keep, to give first strike to a legendary creature, probably Gahiji, a Cross and Birch to search for a plains and a forest, while Grassland only search for one, and Hanweir Battlements can give haste, or meld with Hanweir Garrison to create Eldrasis. And finally, the lands you can search with the ramp spells: Canopy Vista, Cinderglade, Sacred Foundry, Scattered Groups, Sheltered Ticket, Stomping Ground, and Temple Garden. We saw all of our ramp on step 1. Some stuff that really make us suffer are things like Propaganda or Ghostly Prison that tax us for attacking. For those we run Cross and Grip and Auto Shards. We run Camaraderie to draw equal to the number of creatures we control. It also gives us life and +1/+1 to our creatures. Besides that, we have Watley Radiant Champion to get her ulti as fast as possible and hit that emblem. Besides that, her -1 can be brutal depending on how many creatures we have. The deck is pretty vulnerable, so besides Elspeth ulti or the creatures that give Indestructible, we have nothing for protection. We run no artifacts in this deck either. The only creatures we haven't covered yet are those whose power and toughness are equal to the number of creatures we have: Crusader of Odric, Eidolon of Countless Battles, and Seraph of the Masses. We produce a lot of tokens, but we want more. Anointed Procession and Parallel Lives double that amount, and Divine Visitation transform them into 4/4 angels with flying and vigilance, which is brutal. Also, we run True Conviction for the double strike and lifelink. And to finish, we don't run miscellaneous cards. Gahiji is a fun deck to play with. It's living on the edge and only attacking, because a board wipe will reduce our efforts to 0. However, when it hits, it does it hard, and that's something I love about it. I'm actually considering benching this deck, which means putting it into my bench with my other decks that are not at 100% built, and take another deck out to replace it. That's because with the release of Guilds of Ravnica and with M19, I modified the deck a lot and I have none of the cards from those sets. And I'm also missing some lands, so as you may notice, that can be kind of significant amount of cards. And I need to make a little changes there, we'll see in the future. But by now, that's all I have for you today. I hope you liked the video, subscribe, hit the bell and the like button. And stay tuned, I upload videos every Wednesdays. Meanwhile, you can tell me what you think in the comments and follow me on social media. All the links as well as the deck list are going to be in the description. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.